Back in January of 2022, we bought a nearly perfect 2011 Ford Focus for around $5,000. This car was fully loaded, which, if I'm being honest, I didn't even know was possible for a Ford Focus. Leather seats, heated seats, ambient lighting, this car was clean. And it was one of my favorites in the fleet. That was until it got totaled.
So context clues will show that this vehicle obviously impacted something, someone, or somebody, hopefully not that last one, on the front bumper cover, on the fender, and even smacked the wheel itself because we have some significant tire damage and some wheel damage, and it was something blue.
Now I'm going to put up on the screen right here the figures of what we were paid out for this claim and what we expect to earn whenever all things are said and done. Now for this Ford Focus, we did opt to do the buyback, similar to what we did with our Toyota Yaris whenever that car was damaged and totaled in a hailstorm. The reason why we opted in to do the buyback for both the Yaris and this Ford Focus was because the damage wasn't substantial enough for us to justify taking a larger settlement, but then just allowing for IAA to take the car and auction it off. We felt like in both cases we could fix the cars and make more money that way. Now we bought this Ford Focus in January of 2022 for around $5,000, and the actual cash value of this Ford Focus at the time of the accident was $7,542. Now because we did the buyback, we did not get that $7,542. Instead, we got $5,461.38, and we have the ability to keep the car.
The next day.
Yeah! Well, one of the first things we need to do before we can sell the Focus is we have to fix the Focus, and it may not look like it, but I have the Focus bumper cover here and the Focus fender. Now we talk about buying bumpers online, and oftentimes when you buy bumpers, whether they're painted or not painted, if you buy them online, shipping is really expensive, and they do this to save a lot of cost when shipping them out to you. The only important thing is you have to get it out as soon as it gets here, or else it'll actually stay this shape. You want it to bake in the sun, get nice and unfolded, and get back to its original form. The trick is not cutting the bumper. Not that I've ever done that before.
Have you really?
No. Okay. Halfway done. Can you believe there's a whole bumper in here? It's crazy. Nice. Okie dokie. Look at that. That's actually a really good paint job. I like this color. It's called white suede. It's mad luxurious. So now we're gonna go ahead and stretch it out the best that we can across this picnic table with the help of my magician's assistant. And we're gonna let it bake in the sun for a couple of days to return to its shape. Now there is some small drawbacks to doing these bumpers. For one, these are Chinese bumpers and they're not the best fitting, but they do fit really well with a little bit of tweaking. Now you have to remember when you're buying bumper covers that are really cheap like this, $350, $450, pre-painted and shipped to you free, you can't expect the world. There's gonna be runs, there's gonna be trash in the paint, and honestly, this looks a lot better than whatever damaged part you have on your cars, so be grateful because I can tell you a factory bumper alone can cost upwards of $350 to $500 to even $1,000 for just the bumper cover itself, new OEM.
I actually think that it looks very nice.
Yeah, they did a really good job painting this one actually. There's not that many imperfections, but it is white so you can't see too much.
This isn't our first experience with these pre-painted folded bumpers. In fact, we've used these same bumpers on a number of cars in the past, most recently our 2015 Hyundai Elantra GT. Once you allow for the bumper to sit in the sun, it returns to its original shape quite nicely. But of course, now it's a matter of uninstalling the original bumper and getting this new one back onto the car.
So as you can see, bumper and fender are off the vehicle, and a lot of this damage was just cosmetic, and that fender being caved in and the bumper did not do anything structural. And we can see that the frame rails and the subframe, the chassis, everything is still in line. The only thing that really got damaged was the fender bracket that holds the fender out in position, and that can actually be bent back in shape just like that. So all done with that. Now there is one additional thing we have to look at, and it's some of the mechanical damage that happened on this vehicle. Something also collided with the wheel and it knocked the alignment out. And after taking a look at it at Firestone, they determined that the lower control arms are damaged and need to be replaced. So before we actually put on the fender bumper cover, I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the suspension component. That way, whenever we button everything up, we can drop it back down and we're ready to rock. Well, that was pretty much all of the mechanical damage that was done to this vehicle. Was just this lower control arm, and it really just impacted this boot, tore it up, and honestly there's too much play for this thing to be able to align correctly. I'm still gonna have them do an alignment on the vehicle and make sure everything lines up, even though we didn't change a lot of the geometry, but with an impact to the wheel, there's probably a guarantee that something was knocked out of alignment. So now we can work on at least getting the other one on the other side. I like to replace these in pairs. I don't like to do any half measures. I wanna make sure it's done right the first time. Well, all done with both lower control arms. Now, according to Firestone, with the alignment, this should have been a $900 job, which let's say an alignment is about $120, so math, $780 worth of work. Now, it didn't take me too long. I think about 15 minutes each side, and it seems like a lot of work, but honestly, it's really just nuts and bolts. Put this one on there, hit the gun, put that one there, a little bit of finesse. I make it look easy, but honestly, it was a fairly easy job.
After HP was done with the suspension work, he and our employee Michael began to work on the cosmetic repairs. One thing we've been doing a lot to our fleet lately is restoring all of our vehicle headlights, and you wouldn't think that this makes a big difference, but believe us, it does. So Michael worked on the headlights while HP worked on transferring all of the components like the fasteners, grille, and miscellaneous trim pieces from the old bumper to the new one. And well, shortly after that, the vehicle was done and ready to go.
And with that, the Focus is finally done. New fender, new bumper, new brakes, new suspension, polished the headlights, and a fresh oil change. It's ready to go. I can confidently say this car is the best it's looked since we've owned it. All in all, the cost of the parts to fix this vehicle is right around $700, and it did take a long time to fix because earlier in the fall we had a lot of cars that was backlogging this one, so this one got put on the back burner. Now, the original plan was to be able to fix this car in hopes of selling it for anywhere between $4,500 to $5,000, bringing our grand profit from this total loss claim to over $10,000. But we decided we're just gonna give the car away to one of our lucky viewers. Nah, just kidding. We're actually not gonna be selling this vehicle. We're not gonna be giving it away to any viewers. We're gonna be giving it away to my granny. She needs a vehicle, and this is actually the perfect fit. Now, we were hoping to make some additional cash on the back end by selling this vehicle again, but giving it away just makes way better sense. Now, unfortunately, this is the last time you guys will actually see this Ford Focus, but it's not gonna be my last time because I'm pretty much married to it now that I'm giving it to my granny, and I'm gonna be the 100% official certified mechanic on this vehicle no matter what. But guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.